Hello and welcome. You're watching Tech24 on France 24, where we take a look at the latest tech news and innovations. I'm James Creedon. This week, what will the future of transportation look like? We will examine the revolutionary Hyperloop technology that massively reduces travel time between cities. And in Test 24, we visit the annual VivaTech fair here in Paris, where startups and tech giants rub shoulders, and the latest innovations are on display. Stay tuned to discover how to fight stress using virtual reality. But first up is the future of rail travel ticketless. In Malmö, Sweden, a train company is offering its customers the possibility of having a microchip implanted in order to access and pay for their services. In the chip is all the data the company needs to process its travellers. The project has given rise to doubts and debates, however, as you will see in this report.
In these Swedish trains, there's no more need to hunt through bags or email inboxes when the ticket inspector arrives. All that passengers need to travel is their left hand and an implanted microchip. Railway operator SJ is an early adopter of the technology.
Everything that makes our lives easier, I think, is interesting. I think that attracts new customers to SJ.
The implants work with NFC, or near-field communication, the same tech used in contactless credit cards or mobile payments. When scanned, the microchip transmits data using electromagnetic waves.
We need to be there because this is a new technology and it doesn't make such a big difference right now, but we have to try the technology and learn from it to kind of find this new areas we can use it.
But not everyone shares the same enthusiasm. Questions are being raised over where the data will go and who will have access to it.
It's important to consider these implications to make sure that every step along the way of this technology development, that the security and the ethical implications are considered fully.
SJ claims there's little data to access because the microchips only store customer numbers. And in a country renowned for being open to technological advances, the company knows which way the wind is blowing.
All right, we're joined now by Dhananjay Kadilkar. Hello, Dhananjay. Now, you're going to talk to us about these innovations in transportation systems. And let's start with Hyperloop 1. First of all, what's Hyperloop and what's Hyperloop 1?
Well, Hyperloop is a futuristic high-speed transportation system. The idea was first floated in 2012 by Elon Musk. And this essentially consists of a pod that is made to go at a high speed through a large tube. It's strikingly simple. And what it makes use of is the fact that inside that large tube, there's very little air. So there is absolutely no friction. And frictionless travel is the most efficient way of traveling. So this is the simple concept that Hyperloop technology uses. And Hyperloop 1 is a company that is building these massive tubes and the pods. And in fact, recently they released images of their first test track in the Nevada desert. And it's very exciting. But Hyperloop 1 is not just the only company that is involved in this technology. There are other companies like Transpod in Canada that is also trying to build a similar system. So, and the most interesting part, as you mentioned in your introduction, that it will lower the travel time. Absolutely. Right. And it's astonishing because these pods can travel up to 700 miles per hour. So just imagine the travel time between Marseille and Paris. You could do this distance in less than half an hour.
Which is cutting by a fifth, a sixth.
Absolutely.
It's cutting it down to a fifth of the current.
The key, of course, is building this infrastructure. It's going to be quite an effort. But once it's done, I think we'll see a revolution.
Can existing rail structure, for example, existing rail infrastructure be used, or are we talking about constructing entirely new?
It's an entirely new system. These are elevated. These are elevated systems, so they'll be either above the ground, or it can also be installed underwater. So that's one of the plans. Right. And in fact, Hyperloop 1, they recently signed an agreement with the Dubai authorities in which they will be building a similar network by which they will be transporting cargo and passengers between Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So
right, it all makes high-speed rail travel seem a little passé.
Absolutely.
Now, we've spoken a lot about self-driven cars on Tech24 in the past, but now even roads are getting smarter. So smarter cars, Smarter cars, smarter roads. Tell us more.
That's right. Smart cars are not enough. You need to have smart roads as well, because what's the point in having self-driving cars if the roads are not able to, say, communicate with them?
Right.
So that's the next stage of evolution in terms of
Smart conversations between roads and cars.
Absolutely. And the way of doing it is to embed sensors in roads. So, for example, there'll be pressure sensors, there will be a temperature sensors. So these sensors will be able to gather all the parameters. They'll be giving us updates on weather in real time. They'll also tell us the traffic situation in real time, which is also important. And here in France, we had the world's first solar road that was inaugurated in December 2016. It is a stretch of 1 kilometer. Now, this solar road has solar panels embedded in it. These solar panels are quite tough. They are able to withstand heavy traffic. Their life is around 15 years, which is the normal life of normally
So the
constructed
solar
road.
panels, they for lighting, for all of the roads' energy needs, they can help with that, right?
Absolutely. So they will be using the solar power to light to power the street lights. In the future, once this stretch is extended, once it gets bigger, they might also start powering nearby villages. And who knows, perhaps they will have a flyby charging system for driverless cars.
So there will be a conversation between the cars and the roads where the cars could even be charged by the road's solar panels.
Absolutely. It's not yet
This
proven,
is
but
down the line a bit.
I mean, this is what we can hope for. I mean, that will be the ultimate evolution in this technology you can say the synchronization or the synergy between cars and the roads.
And now it's time for the Test 24 part of the show, where Dan and Jay went to the VivaTech Fair, an annual tech fair here in Paris with startups, tech giants, lots of innovations on display. And let's discover some of those innovations with Dan and Jay right now.
We are here at VivaTech, and I'm sitting in a more comfortable version of a dentist chair. And right now I'm steering a spaceship in an alien galaxy in which I'm trying to save my spaceship from the invasion of aliens. Now the idea behind this simulation is that it is trying to increase my stress levels, and afterwards it will provide me a solution in order to bring them down. Now, why is it being done so? This is because so that I can recognize stress in my real life, in my real day-to-day activities, and then I can implement the similar solution in order to combat stress without having to take recourse into medicines. Now, the most interesting part about this system is that I can monitor my heart rate, I can monitor the regularity of my breathing. These sensors which I have on my fingers as well connected to this HTC Vive headset, they also monitor my brain activity. Now, this is the idea that you create a cognitive overload, and then it tells you how to fight this multiple tasks that you have to perform at the same time, which can be really stressful in real life. Now I'm joined by the CEO of OpenMind, Guillaume Victor Thomas. Thank you, Guillaume, for joining us.
Okay, how was it?
Very good, very interesting.
Were you stressed?
A little bit, and then afterwards, of course, it helped a lot. Okay, tell me, Guillaume, how did you come up with this idea?
I've been facing stress as a CEO of my former company, and I noticed that my cognitive performance were really decreasing. And I get interest on neuroscience and technology, and I saw a huge opportunity to close the gap between neuroscience and public application. And so we came up with this idea, and we gathered some stress specialists, from yoga teacher to stress specialists in the army for the warriors, and we built up this protocol of test session in VR plus neurophysiology measurements.
Okay, thank you very much, Guillaume.
Good.
Let's now move on to the next test. The French company Delcy has launched a new line of connected baggage called luggage that aims to solve most of the problems that travelers face these days. Now, one of the features of this bag is that you can unlock it by using a dedicated application. So here, after you just press this button, the bag gets unlocked. You can also unlock this bag by using your fingerprint. Put my finger on this, the bag gets unlocked. The other interesting feature is that there's an inbuilt weighing scale. So before going to an airport, you can turn this on and you can measure how much it weighs. That is a very useful feature. And perhaps the most important of the lot is the tracking option. So you can track your bag in two ways. One, locally by using a Bluetooth connection, and secondly, by using an inbuilt sensor that helps you to track the bag internationally. Now using the same application, you just type, or the tap locate, a few more taps, and you'll see that the bag is currently located in Paris at Porte de Versailles. So as you can see, all these features hopefully will make us travel much easier. And now let's move on to the next test. Today we have a very special guest called Robothespian. It's a 6-feet robot made by the British firm Engineered Arts. It is an interactive communications robot that is mostly deployed in museums. One of its specialities is that it is equipped with compressors that makes its movement more fluid. Hi Robothespian, how are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you give me a high five, please?
High five.
Thank you. Robothespian can interact in multiple ways, and it can also sing some songs. Robothespian, can you please sing a song, King of the Robots, for us, please?
Yes, here is my robot spin on a Disney vessel.
That's all we have in this week's Tech 24. See you next time.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm the king of the robots, a digital VIP. I've reached the top and I've had to stop, and that's what's glitching me.